this week's Parsha, we have the mitzvah of not lighting fires on Shabbat. And the question comes up, why does the Torah keep reminding us of Shabbat in the construction of the Mishkan, the Tabernacle? That it's a very important rule. Shabbat overrides the building of the Tabernacle. And there's a thing that in a Jewish idea that when you build a holy place, like a synagogue, you should not build it, work should not be done on it on Shabbat. This is a very important rule that a lot of people just aren't aware. And very few shuls, very few synagogues, did they take a break on Shabbat to the building of that synagogue. This, by the way, happens to be one of the few that it's documented that in the contract with the builders, they could not work on the building on Shabbat in the construction of this synagogue. And it's mentioned in a number of books on the time period. So and it's because we have to remember Shabbat, or what Hashem is saying with this Shabbat, that as important as the Mishkan would be, as important as the Beit Hamikdash would be, the temple, as important as all this is, Shabbat is far more important, because Shabbat is a reminder that God created the world. If you forget that detail, you lose everything. Remember, it says in Tehillim, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of heaven. If you forget that there's a God in the world, everything else suddenly falls away. And as it was said, I believe, by Ahad Ha'am many years ago, more than the Jews have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jews. So that's why you keep seeing these references in the Torah, that you have the building of the Mishkan, the Tabernacle, and it keeps reminding you, but keep Shabbat. My Shabbat you will not violate. Something to think about. Kadosh Rabbanim.